Greetings. This is Arvette McLean of Speak, The Universe Listens. As a very young person, I always felt that I carried the weight of the world on my shoulders, having to make grown-up decisions in order to survive a life marked with physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. While my face was smiling on the outside, on the inside, I always secretly cried and felt miserable. However, over the years, I learned some gems that helped to turn my life around. I now get to live the life of my dreams, filled with love, travel, and wonderment. And I am absolutely passionate about sharing what I have learned with you. If you want to live your best life, tune in each week as I, along with some amazing guests, share these life-changing gems with you. Inspired to be more, do more, have more. Greetings and welcome to today's episode. Today's topic is the power of group intentions. I know it almost sounds cliche, the ideal that together we can achieve more, but it is a concept that I've been revisiting in my own life. I've been what I would consider to be a loner for the majority of my life, feeling like I could accomplish far more by myself than I ever could with other people. Throughout my life, I had experienced that working with groups often seemed to be counterproductive. So much time was focused on working through people's personalities, through people's opinions, through people's egos, through people's follow-through on a task that I was feeling like the small progress that was being made over the course of several meetings, I could have actually done that in just a few hours on my own. So to me, group work was a huge waste of time. I did notice, however, that working with another person was a lot more fun and often made projects feel more worthwhile. So I've been a fan for a long time of working with a small partnership where I worked alongside maybe one or two other people. But then in 2005, I joined an outdoor fitness team, SEAL Team PT, and I quickly realized that I was far more willing to do things with the group than I would have ever considered doing on my own. Back then, about 100 other fitness enthusiasts would show up every day dressed in all blue at 5:45 every morning. It didn't matter if it was raining, snowing, the extreme cold, or the extreme heat. We would be there and we would come out just to exercise. But I quickly realized that it was more than just a group exercising. It was a group that was dedicated to everyone becoming the best version of themselves, at least for that hour of the day. I then had a similar experience when I created the running group RC Square. Our group met religiously every Saturday morning to simply run for an hour. During these runs, we developed confidence, fitness, a lifelong commitment to exercise, and lifelong friendships. When I think about the importance that these two groups have played in my life, I realized that it was the sense of community and the sense of belongingness that helped to buoy me in ways that my long solo runs never could. I've realized that these groups pushed and pulled out some of the best things in me. I have long been aware of the fact that Japanese who live in Japan do not have the same health problems that beseech Americans. However, when those same Japanese come to live in America, oftentimes they would begin to have the same ailments that we have here. The thinking had long been that they are taking on American diseases because they're taking on the American diet. But under closer examination, the Japanese in Japan, they love to smoke, yet they don't get the same diseases that we get from smoking. And some of their diets are just as bad as ours, yet they're not getting the same food-related diseases that Americans get. So in trying to process and research like what's going on here, the Japanese say that the reason was obvious. They said Americans are lonely. Everything in America is so individualized, wherein in Japan they are more community minded. So that observation just turned the research on its head, and it was found that indeed the magic that protected the Japanese from such disease was being a part of a group, a part of a community. And Japanese who migrated to the US and were able to find a community here, they remained in health, immune to American diseases. But those who did not, they ended up with the American diseases. It has been found that being a part of a group lowers your risk for heart disease, lowers your risk for stroke, and even for the common cold. Also, I recently became aware of this interesting phenomenon. Speaking about horses, one horse can pull 8,000 pounds. So you would think that 2 horses could double that, right? Which would be 16,000 pounds. But 2 horses can pull 24,000 pounds, which is triple the amount. But what is even more fascinating is this. If the 2 horses have a rapport or they've worked together before, the amount that they can pull together is increased to 4 times what 1 horse alone could have pulled. So 2 horses can then pull 32,000 pounds. I can definitely see this type of phenomena in my exercise groups. With the team, I can run faster, further, and have much more fun than when I'm alone. So I've been thinking a lot about the power of groups because I teach a 6-week online class, Do, Be, Have More. This class is designed to help participants to step into a larger version of themselves and to step outside of the self-imposed boundaries that we all erect around ourselves. But one of the things that we do is set weekly intentions, and then we supercharge everyone's intentions. What I have found is that people are getting so much more done during this 6 weeks course than they've accomplished possibly all year. Some people are taking risks in their lives that they wouldn't have taken on in their own in the absence of the group. At first, I was conceptualizing this as, well, you told the group that you were going to do this task, and they're going to ask you if you got it done, so you better get it done. So in other words, I was thinking of this as having an accountability group. But then I started realizing that the members of the group actually see a bigger version of you than you see of yourself. Their belief in you helps you to believe in yourself. And the reverse is true. When you start seeing a bigger version of other people, you start seeing a bigger version of yourself. When you believe for someone else, you also begin to believe for yourself. Isn't it strange how all that works together like that? But what's more, we have been supercharging everyone's intentions, meaning that we're holding everyone's intentions in our hearts and in our minds and wanting for them what they want for themselves. Now, obviously, I don't really know if from the time we leave class until the next class that we meet, if anyone is giving any thought to what the other people's intentions were, but I know that I do. When I'm doing my own visualizations for myself, I also pour my energy into visualizing each one of the participants doing whatever they say their intentions were. And this is loosely based on the ideal that the more people who hold a thought, the more real that thing becomes. I have long been a fan of Len McTaggart. She is a researcher who has done amazing thought experiments over the years. In a nutshell, she has groups of people send their thoughts or intentions towards a certain thing, and then she measures the effects that are produced. In her astounding experiments, her groups have made seeds grow faster, they've lowered violence in war-torn areas, and they've produced healing in ailing people. Because we're all a part of a giant energy field, we are constantly trading energy back and forth between each other and between everything. What one of us does affects all of us. But when we as a group direct our intentions toward a certain thing, the results are extraordinary. In her book, The Power of 8, she talks about the power of small groups. She says she randomly selected the number 8 for the optimal group size, but groups of 4 to groups of 12 seem to work just as well. These groups get together either in person or via Zoom or Skype, and they spend 10 minutes sending intentions for one of the people in the group. So in other words, let's say that someone in the group has an ailment, or maybe they need a job, or they're having trouble with forgiveness. That person will say what it is that they want or need. Then the entire group will spend 10 minutes holding that exact intention for that person. The results of these group intentions have been mind-blowing. People have experienced instant healings and so much more. So I am so excited about her work that I would love to start an intentions group with our podcast community. If anyone is interested in being part of something like this, where you are sending intentions for 10 minutes along with a group, contact me. If people are interested, we can do this. Everyone in the group will have the opportunity to be the sender of the intentions as well as the receiver. Understanding the true power that groups have on us has truly opened my eyes, and now I fully embrace the concept that together we can achieve more. Again, if you are interested in being part of an intention group, comment below or reach me on Facebook or Instagram at Arvette McLean. I'll be waiting for you. Until next time, bye.